Welcome to this Q&A session for the film Bitter Love, which is part of the 31st edition of Nordisk Panorama Film Festival. The film is not only nominated for Best Nordic Documentary, it also has a chance to win the Audience Award, so do not forget to vote when this session is finished. My name is Cecilia Lidin, and I have the pleasure of being the host of this Q&A with Jerzy Sladkowski, the director of Bitter Love. Welcome, Jerzy.
Welcome.
Nice to talk to you. Again, an amazing story from Russia, from your hand, Jerzy. You've done it before and you've done it again. And I think we would all like to know, how did you decide to make a film on this cruise ship on the Volga? How did you end up on this love boat?
Yeah, well, I decided to do something positive. Because most of the films, they had this little bit dark side. The reality, I mean, people facing those obstacles, trying to survive in hardening environment. And it was not the only experience of Russia that I had, yes. I had other experiences too, and I just wanted to share it. And of course, I decided to choose something which is totally universal. It is not attached just to Russia, even if Anton Chekhov is somewhere in behind it, but it's universal. Yes, I mean our fight for love, for finding love, keeping it alive, and so this is universal. So I just wanted to show Russians, I mean, far from the major troubles, and just concentrated on trying to kind of find a peace in this emotional life. Or a peace or troubles, I don't know what love gives us, but both, I think.
So tell us a bit about your method. I mean, so you have a theme in a way when you go onto the boat, but what comes first for you, the theme or the characters?
Well, I mean, actually the characters, I would say, because I'm always on the lookout for the fascinating individuals, always, because this is the beginning. I have to get fascinated, I mean, overwhelmed. Jesus, what a personality, was a character. And this kind of people, it takes a hell lot of time to find them, to be honest. Years, in most of the cases. 1 year, 1.5 years. But sooner or later I find them. And all of them, they have great stories. I mean, they just, the question if they are ready to share it or not with us, but they usually have a very good stories and very universal stories, yes. They're just great individuals, great personalities. But I mean, in some cases, I had to just to get what I got from in the first place, yes. But I decided just to take my time and to find characters which I loved from the beginning. So we were searching among the people who were kind of applying for getting the place on this ship, yes? And they just tried to get the tickets, they booked the places, well, it was not that easy, because to get the access to this list was just not very, it was complicated. But we got some access, and then we met. But in parallel, we just met people, traveling in Russia, and I mean, by a coincidence, we met this couple, and who just finally they just decided to marry or something.
Something like that, yeah.
But I was not sure, because I mean, the first meeting was very nice. They invited us to their home, and there was a great food and great vodka and the music and everything. And I mean, and then it was a lot of silence. But they were a little bit shy, and I just didn't want to force them. So it was a nice evening, but there was a lot of silence. And suddenly, in the middle of the silence, I hear, "I hate this bird." Really, I mean, from the depths of her heart. I hate it. And then I knew, because this was one of those very special moments where you just realize that you got something hot. Because a woman with her look and she was very energetic, a very nice person, emotional, saying that it was a promise of much more during the cruise. So I would just come closer and closer and closer, and the concept is that I am coming very close to them. We like each other and so, but I am trying to avoid to get out too much. I want the most important kind of things I expect to come up during the takes, during the shooting. Mm. So when I just decided that I will go for them, I want to meet them more often and just to learn about it. It was my production manager who was talking to them. She got the information, and then she passed it over to me, kind of. So I didn't spoil it. Yes, I didn't burn it out. It was just, they didn't know, I knew. But then we met, they had this friend, it was a guitar player and a singer. And he was funny because I heard about him, how to say, the riva in Swedish. It is this photographers. Han rev.
Oh, he tour or?
Yeah. So,
he was tearing the pictures.
In the pictures, he was painting them, looking at them, enjoying them, and they was just. And it was just a tradition, and he did it when we made a kind of trailer, because I asked my friend and great friend, the producer Antonio, to send a crew, and then we made a trailer, and did it in the trailer, and I asked this guy, his friend, who from this first couple, and say, well, listen, but the best sequence is over. No, he's doing it over and over. Don't worry.
You will do it again.
You do it again. And so I had three powerful characters in the beginning. And then, of course, I took for granted. I will say more about working with characters, but I just want to tell you the place, to describe the room is where we are. I just wanted to my concept was this: those people, 3 or 4, which we found in advance, will kind of create a kind of bridge to the real passengers on the boat. Yes, so okay, of course I would have them in the film, but I was hoping for. Okay, so now I just a step forward. The great step forward is the first day of our shooting, and we came to the port earlier, 2 hours before the passengers came to the boat, and then we start shooting people coming to the boat, and I realized that all of them are much older than me. I was 72 then. So I was just a little bit surprised, scared, and asked the production manager, what's going on? What is it? Is it kind of she didn't know, because it's so difficult to. We got access to these lists, but there were a lot of people who didn't want to talk to us.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So finally, we just found, but actually, this couple and this guitar player, we found just by coincidence, researching, meeting people, including people who were planning to go to the boat, and their dream was to go to such a boat. So my production manager disappeared, and then she came back, and she was white. So what happened? They are retired KGB workers.
Oh my goodness.
Why? Because 3 years earlier, Putin decided that all the people working for secret service, for police, for the army, this kind of stuff, they can't go abroad for vacations. They can't travel abroad. They have to stay in the country. So the companies running those cruises, they just got them a great discount. So they could afford going for. So about 90% of all the passengers were in my age or older. Some of them much older than me. And that was it. And we found in the last moment, because there was a person who spoke to us, but she couldn't decide. And then she decided, and she came to the boat. And he was from our research from before, from earlier. And she became the potential partner for this guitar player. Yeah. Because I couldn't know, but they just tried to, from the beginning. I mean, the first sequence was they eating the dinner in an empty restaurant later on, and then she started to cry, and so okay, it was a good choice. But then I would need more characters. So I was kind of frustrated, so I went down to the bar. It's a very good therapy when you are frustrated. To go.
Good place to be, yeah.
Good place to be, and there I took one glass of vodka, which is very effective. And then I just couldn't believe it was true. I see a beautiful couple, a girl and a boy, very, 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 I mean, I like them from the very beginning. What are you doing here? We are working here. What are you doing? Well, I'm a piano player and coach for the singers, and my girlfriend is an opera singer. They have recently finished the studies in this music academy in Moscow. And they just needed some time to practice, somewhere to practice, to have access to the piano and to the audience and so. And they took this job, and it was very good because they were practicing for hours every day and then giving 2 concerts. So suddenly, I realized that not only I got 2 great characters, but in music. Yeah. Because I couldn't know. Okay, this guitar player, it was, of course, we knew that, but this music and Rachmaninoff, Shostakovich, how could I dream about it? So we had a lot of, it was a lot of luck.
Yeah, so a lot of planning, but also a lot of luck is needed.
Yes, it just basically failed, because I like when it fails, because what we get in a natural way is out of reality of it's much more interesting, and it's kind of discovery. Yeah. So I was not frustrated. I was frustrated because of this, or because those people couldn't talk to us. They refused, all of them. Of course. They are not allowed to talk about personal life or professional or something. But in the middle of the process, they just became very nice to us. They just were interested, became interested, and they were just even coming with some advices. Sometimes they wanted to drink with us, which they did, because we're partying a lot.
Yeah.
And then when we talk about just coming close to the characters, it's the socializing. It's not interviewing all the time, asking questions. No, because the questions is not other people. I mean, I ask my crew, members of my crew, to talk to them and ask questions. Yes, not me, but they just then passed this information to me. So I was learning, and then I used to, when I try to explain it, is that, let's say the character, yes, is like a safety box. It's something which we, from the beginning, don't have access to because it's locked, it's closed, and what we need is password. And password is good for the opening, not for taking out.
Yeah.
Take it out. So, I mean, we need these passwords. And passwords are, I call it the keywords. And I just try to get at least one example. Well, this, I hate this bird. It's the kind of, this kind of, well, it's something like a password, because when I said, in any occasion I said bird, lovely bird, then she became, so this is, and I am trying to collect those words, those passwords. Yes, there's this example with them again, when there was a pretty good sequence. We didn't use it, but it was a very good sequence where they were trying to evaluate their status quo as a couple who spent together 22 years, loving each other, having great times and so on, but they couldn't get married. So it was a very good sequence. And then suddenly it didn't come to the climax. It was well, interesting, emotional, but kind of under control. There was silence. And then of some reasons, I just very loud, I said this, engagement ring.
Yeah, an engagement ring, yes. Yeah.
Engagement ring. I just said engagement ring. And then we got something, because, oh yes, you promised me hundreds of times. What? Engagement ring. And we, the question, the key word is not important anymore, because it's just going forward, it's developing, because it is just this impulse. And this is when I am collecting those key words, because they are very effective. I never have to use it in the sequence later on in the editing, never, because I just push its explosion. Is this climax is coming, and then of course, after a while you get this what you hoped or expected for. So this is a kind of game. This has something with the seduction to do. It's this kind of seduction, but they I try to seduce them, and then I hope they will seduce the viewers, and they try to seduce me somehow. This is kind of, I don't know if seduction is the best word, but it's good and it works. It is a key word.
But Jerzy, when you have, when the relationship is established and your crew has been doing that together with you, and you come in as the director, how is there any kind of staging? The moments where they, the places they sit and the framing, how do you work with that?
Well, it's between staging and saying to the characters, have a seat there. This is a big distance. Staging is I never use staging because it's not working in documentary.
No.
Because you lose the credibility. And you lose this tension, because if they have to find the place themselves, it's different. It's a part of the film. But when I say, well, let's just go there, I would never call it staging, but provoking, pushing things forward. A part of it is just keywords, yes, those words could just put things in motion. But sometimes I just, either I get the information from my spies, or I just hear from them that there is somebody they would like to talk to, to meet, and just a friend or somebody, just theoretically. I say, well, do that. That's the staging. Do that.
Yeah.
And then we follow. Because when instruction, it's, people who are instructed, they stop being themselves. They start to act. Whatever they do is acting, and then it's false. Then they will lose the credibility. Of course, it's time consuming, but we used to have a good planning. We don't rush. We take our time. We don't shoot that much daily. But we just, when we know what we want to do and what we want to get out of it, we hope. Usually it becomes different, but it's usually better. Yes, but we have some expectations. But
you work with the same crew every time, do you? So you're so experienced in doing this together.
Definitely, yes. And the photographer is a director himself. And he calls him, I never call myself director, because I am not directing. I'm just pushing the stones to the edge.
But it makes sense that it's people you're used to working with, so you all know how to, because this is quite a task to do this in the 21 days on a boat, getting all this, all these moments, all these unique moments, I would say.
Yeah, but when you it's 21 days, but then the average in the film is 3 minutes per day. This is this. Well, in the film, a sequence, yes. So, well, I can't say we work too much. And I never start shooting in 6 a.m. and then 12 at night. 6 a.m, we're still sleeping. We're eating breakfast about 9 o'clock, 9:30, and then we talk about the shooting.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I never interfere the photographer during takes, because he knows what we are looking for. Knows what we expect from. We knows why we're there and what they want to get out of it. And then he is open for this unpredictable. This what it just comes unexpectedly. And then talking to him, I would disturb him. I would break this concentration. And sometimes I was going out with students and they trying to impress on me, just instructing the photographer, yes, pen to the right and pen to the left. Jesus Christ. I could kill for this. If I was the photographer, I could kill for this, because it's just, this is limiting my creativity. Zero, because I don't have... I am concentrated on this, and I am following something, because we're just trying to get the emotions. There is very much in Voga. The photographer, he was really. I like these long takes, because the most exciting thing that we could observe, and one of the most, is human face. when it's the transition from one mood to another mood. Yes, this is something. This is happening, and to get it on tape is a great thing to get.
Yeah, to watch as well. Yeah, Jerzy, so there's trust within the whole crew, and you know they know what they're doing, and the same goes for your editor. You always work with the same editor. Am I right about that as well?
Well, this is different. Because in this time the editor was my son.
Ah, okay, yeah.
He was trained for about 20 years, as long as I was trained as say directors, but filmmaker. He was trained, and it was the first long feature-length film that he was editing. Okay. And you know what? He edited this film in 10 days.
Wow.
But he was a part of the crew.
Yeah, so he knew.
He's assisting the photographer.
Yeah.
And he knows the material very well.
Yeah.
He's cooperating with the photographer, and there are some extras or something that they are always there. Just I don't have to think about it that much. So, and I am really happy about this editing, because this is our film, but it is my film. I can just say, okay, I could say this is my film. We had a great editor. The film was kind of dedicated to her.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Because
she passed away before she wanted to see this film, but...
Oh, that's sad, yeah.
It's very sad. But probably she's somewhere in the upper room.
Yeah, let's hope. Jerzy, time is running out. It's so good to talk with you. Can I just ask a final question? Have the characters in the film, have they seen the film themselves?
Yes.
And what do they think?
They are very happy.
Oh, wonderful.
All of them. This is really exciting. Unfortunately, half of them passed Corona. Yes, and in 3 cases, the couple and this woman.
Yeah.
And it was very badly, very serious.
Serious. Oh my God.
They're okay now.
Okay, thank God.
I was so happy because I liked the film.
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. Jerzy, thank you very much for talking with me and for this wonderful, wonderful film. And thank you for everyone that's been watching this Q&A. And remember all the other great films at Nordisk Panorama, and remember to vote for the Audience Award. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.